With the new academic year, many of you are probably looking to boost your grades and get into the unis that you want. Well, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to share how you can effectively revise and organise your time to do well in them exams. To give you some context, I went from a 6 at GCSE Biology to an A in A-levels and a 7 in GCSE Chemistry to an A-star in A-levels. So I know somewhat how to improve your grades. Now, before I get into it, let me tell you guys about my Patreon real quick. I offer private mentorship there. So everything you see on screen is provided and it costs about the same price as free tutors a month. We'll have monthly progress checks to keep you on track and make sure you get the grades that you need. There's going to be one-to-one private mentorship. I also offer other memberships and these have perks that are designed to make sure you succeed. Now for the private one-to-one mentorship, for me as a mentor, is capped at 15 students. But don't worry, if it does go over the 15 students limit, you'll have someone else who's just as experienced as me. But yeah, if you're interested, the link will be below. Let's jump into the first revision tip. And a revision method that I wish I knew during college was Anki. I use Anki now that I'm at university, and it's an online flashcard tool. Like, I'm not being paid to say any of this. I just use Anki on a daily, and a lot of people use it. It's similar to Quizlet. But the reason I prefer Anki is because it lets you review your cards on a daily basis. So depending on how hard you find each card, it'll give you a certain amount of cards that you did every single day. And you just have to keep doing these cards on a daily basis. And by doing this, it keeps in your head, so you memorized it. So instead of having to cram and revise everything during exam season, you're doing this on just a day-to-day basis and you're just memorizing it. So it's in your head already and you don't have to cram everything during exam season. So instead of making my notes on paper and just revising them paper notes every day, I would have just converted straight to Anki. So instead of writing on paper, I would have just been doing the Anki notes whilst making my notes. So I would have got all my content from the same place, but instead of doing paper notes, I would have done Anki notes. Now I've got you covered. I've made pre-made Anki flashcard decks for biology and chemistry. We're in the AQA and OCR spec for year 12 and year 13. It's all on my website, studyplate.co.uk. There'll also be a link in the description. Pre-made flashcards let you focus more on actually revising instead of preparing and creating. Now, I have reviews, I'll just put a recent screenshot here that someone messaged me. They're really good. People use these flashcards and find them useful. So get it, you can use that as your main source of revision, as your secondary source of revision, it's fine. But they're really good to use, to revise. Now let's get on to my sources and what resources I used. Where I got my revision materials from mostly YouTube videos and textbooks, the CGP textbooks. The channels I relied on for chemistry were Allery Chemistry and Elliot Rintle. Biology was Miss Estrich and A-Level Biology Help. And maths was TL Maths and a guy called Zishan Zamarud. These YouTubers covered my exam boards in detail, so I used them because they were useful. Now during my time, I'll make handwritten notes from their videos and then I'll use them notes to answer past paper questions or do my homework. Now what I would do if I was doing it again, this would all be on Anki and I'll be doing my Anki flashcards on a daily basis. This approach helped me understand the content and actually apply that knowledge. Consistency is key and it doesn't just apply to studying at home. One of the big changes I made from GCSE to college was actually listening in class and actually engaging. During A-levels, I started asking questions in class. Whenever I was confused or if I didn't understand something, I asked the teacher to explain it. And even if it seemed very basic, I'll still ask. I didn't care about looking stupid in front of the class because this clarified my understanding and it saved me time later, so I don't have to look into it and because when you're at home and you're revising something, if you don't understand it, you're just scratching your brain and you just don't know where to look and you're like, wait, what does that mean? So asking a question in class just made that so much easier for me. I actually understood everything that we were taught. I'll go home and I'll make revision so much easier. You need to understand the material. That is very crucial. You need to stay consistent. The reason a lot of students fall short is because they're not consistent. Stay on top of your work every day, especially Monday to Friday. If you're doing Anki, do your reviews every single day. If you're doing paper notes or whatever, keep on top of every lesson you've been taught every single day. Again, if you get using the pre-made flashcards with the link in the description, just do them on a daily basis, do your reviews. Lastly, I want to talk about past paper questions. These are your best friend. They're essential to help you apply your knowledge and then even understanding the mark schemes. Learning the mark schemes is a whole skill itself. Follow my TikTok for daily tips and message you on Instagram if you have any questions. But thanks for watching this video. Hopefully it was somewhat useful to you. Don't forget to check out the links in the description for my Patreon and my website, which I sell flashcards and cheat sheets on. Flashcards and cheat sheets, they're really good. And the Patreon, one-to-one mentorship, which is just, I don't know who else is doing this at the price that I'm doing it as well. I've been told I should be charging triple, but I'm keeping it a bit lower than that. And I have much cheaper memberships as well, where you can just get tutoring pretty much. It's just webinars and cheat sheets and everything will be posted there for you. But I'll be posting much more content to help you throughout the year. So if you're interested, please subscribe.